In the hierarchy of the road, we assume the police officer is the apex predator. They have the lights, the badge, and the gun. But there is a secret food chain on our highways that most citizens never see. What happens when the hunter unknowingly stalks a bigger predator? We are about to watch a textbook example of a fishing expedition gone wrong. A local officer spots a vehicle with dark windows and a license plate that doesn't exist in his computer. He thinks he has a stolen car or a drug runner. Instead, he is about to stumble into a jurisdictional nightmare that ends with him nervously scribbling his name on a piece of paper and fleeing the scene. This is the anatomy of a blue-on-blue stop. If you want to understand the reality of police work versus the myths, and how the rules for the don't always apply to the, hit that subscribe button right now. The interaction begins with a technique known as running cold plates. Officers will often drive in traffic, typing in random license plates to see if they get a hit. When a plate returns, no record found, it usually means one of two things: the car is brand new and unregistered, or the car belongs to a federal agency that shields its data from local police. Watch closely as the officer approaches. He is confident, fishing for a crime. But pay attention to the exact moment his demeanor shifts from interrogator to subordinate.
You're good. What agency you with?
I'm the state attorney.
Same thing. All right. Thank you. Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before. I'm sorry? Yeah. We're good now.
Let's dissect the tint meter excuse. The officer admits, I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop. In court, this would be a weak foundation for a stop. While officers can stop a car based on their training and experience estimating tint, admitting you don't have the tool to verify it while you are backpedaling weakens the probable cause. But the most telling part of this interaction is the professional courtesy. If this were you or me, a regular citizen with a tag that didn't come back and illegal tint, we would be dragged out of the car. We would be detained while they verified the VIN number. We would be ticketed for the tint. But because this driver is part of the club, a federal agent or fellow law enforcement officer, the investigative detention evaporates instantly. You're good. We're good now. This highlights a massive disparity in American policing. The law is supposed to be blind, but here we see it has 20/20th vision for badges. The officer is so eager to leave that he initially hesitates to provide his business card, saying, "Actually, this isn't my car." This is a deflection tactic. He doesn't want to leave a paper trail of this embarrassing stop. But the driver, clearly knowing his rights and perhaps testing the officer, insists. "What's your employee number?"
So that's the reason for the stop.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's at traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing. Also, the windows were really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop.
Do you guys have cards on you?
Yeah, one second. Actually, this isn't my car, but I can write my name down if you'd like.
Yeah, he put my name on.
Did you catch the shift? The officer admits, it's never come back to anything before. Legally, this is his reasonable suspicion. Under the Fourth Amendment, he has the right to stop the vehicle to investigate the registration status. But then he adds the backup excuse, the windows are really dark. This is what we call a pretextual stop, legalized by the Supreme Court case Wren v. United States. Officers are allowed to use minor traffic infractions, like tint or a license plate light, as a pretext to stop a car they actually suspect of other crimes. He doesn't really care about the window tint. He wants to know who is inside a car that doesn't exist in his database. He is hunting. But here is the pivot point. The driver doesn't hand over a license and registration like a nervous citizen. He asks a question of his own. The transcript captures the officer asking, "What agent are you with?" This is the moment the officer realizes he has made a mistake. He isn't dealing with a civilian. He is dealing with a federal agent or a state investigator. Notice the psychological switch. The officer goes from investigating to explaining. He starts justifying why he stopped him. We run tags all the time, that's how we figure out if cars are stolen. This is defensive justification. He is no longer enforcing the law, he is apologizing for the intrusion. The encounter ends with the officer scribbling his information, 915-157, and retreating with a polite, "Have a good day." There is no ticket. No warning. No tint measurement. The ghost plate did exactly what it was designed to do, protect the identity of the federal agent inside. What we just witnessed was a collision of jurisdictions. Local police patrol the streets, but federal agents own the data. When a local cop runs a tag and gets a black hole response, he is supposed to treat it as suspicious. But experience teaches them that suspicious usually means above my pay grade. The lesson here is about confidence and knowledge. The driver didn't scream. He didn't argue. He simply established his status and asked for the officer's ID. He controlled the interaction by knowing exactly where he stood in the legal hierarchy. It forces us to ask a difficult question about equality under the law. So, let's turn this over to the jury. Do you think the officer was just doing his job investigating a suspicious vehicle, or does this prove that law enforcement officers give special treatment to their own that they would never give to a regular citizen? Let me know your verdict in the comments below.